Welcome to the Candy Unified Communications as a Service, or UCaaS, Solutions Overview Training. This course is intended for anyone who needs a high-level overview of Ribbon's Candy Business Solutions, or KBS, Unified Communications as a Service portfolio. Also, any personnel involved in selling, marketing, deploying, supporting Ribbon's Unified Communications as a Service products. The key objectives of this course is to provide you an overview of the core services, the Unified Communications services, and optional services that can be deployed from Ribbon's KBS UCaaS as a Service Cloud. Also to provide you an overview of the telephony services for end users, such as SIP telephones, soft clients for desktop and mobile devices, an overview of the call grabber feature, an overview of the various conferencing and collaboration tools, an overview of the messaging products such as voicemail and auto attendant, and an overview of optional services such as call recording, call center, and fax. This also provides an overview of the end user web portal, enterprise administration, and troubleshooting tools. Now let's begin. What is KBS Unified Communications as a Service? From the cloud, it provides core services such as PBX functionality, voicemail, audio conferencing, directories both personal and global, as well as an auto attendant. Additional services that are more unified communications in nature, such as a one-number solution, both presence and instant messaging, video conferencing, collaboration, and call grabber. There are also optional services such as contact center, call recording, voicemail transcription, a receptionist app, as well as cloud fax. Users can access these features through desk telephones, such as Polycom and Yealink, but many more are supported. There are also desktop clients for both Windows and Apple devices, and mobile clients for both Android and Apple. The desktop and mobile clients are generically branded or can be custom branded. There's also a Candy Business Portal, which allows end users to control their own features, enterprise administration to control a business's functionality, as well as separate partner provisioning. There are both REST APIs for integration as well. So you can see that Candy Unified Communications as a Service is more than just a phone system. It provides a complete unified communications solution. It's all managed and maintained and operated by Ribbon, but white labeled by our partners. And you only pay for what your customers consume. There are various SIP phones that are supported through the KBS UCaaS platform. And we don't lock you into proprietary hardware or costly licenses. You can choose the phones, the vendors, the models that meet your deployment. For Polycom and Yealink, and soon to be audio codes, we also provide zero-touch provisioning, meaning you can plug the phone in, provision it in our database, and it automatically configures the phone. Call Grabber is a feature that allows you to move an active call between any of your devices. It doesn't require a client, and it supports any mobile phone, any client, and any SIP phone. You can take an active call and you can move it between any of these devices. For instance, on the left, you can use our Smart Office desktop client, and using a speed dial function for call grab, you can move your call between your desktop and your SIP phone. There's also a similar favorite in your mobile client. But if you don't have that kind of smartphone, you can simply program a contact in your mobile telephone, even if it's a flip phone, and you can move an active call between your SIP telephone and your mobile phone. Then on the SIP phones, you can also go in and provide a speed dial with the call grabber code. Some examples of this are when you need to go get something from the printer or fax machine. You can move your call from either your desktop client or your SIP telephone and move it to your mobile phone to go pick up a printer, go to the fax machine, get a cup of coffee, go talk to a coworker. Maybe you need to get in your car and go to the airport or an offsite meeting, or just run an errand. It's also very helpful if you're on a client, such as a desktop client, with a battery-powered headset, and if you think that it's about to go out with the low battery, you can move that to your SIP phone. These are all great uses of Call Grabber. You don't have to deploy this, but if you do, you can provide the users with both a desktop and mobile client, which gives them the full functionality of a desktop phone, but adds in your instant messaging, presence, and other types of features such as collaboration and video conferencing if the package supports it. We do provide generically branded desktop clients, and those are called Smart Office. And if you want, we can work with you to customize this with your own brand. But these support both voice and video calling, click to call, you can handle multiple calls, you can transfer calls. You also have a historical call logs for incoming, outgoing, and missed calls. If your package allows conferencing and collaboration, this is also tightly integrated into the client. It also has instant messaging and presence, as I mentioned, but it has your global directory as well as a personal directory and even a list of favorites that you can go in and communicate with frequently. The value here is that no matter where you are, you can open up your computer and work from home today. You can work in the office tomorrow, but it provides the same functionality no matter where you're working from. And we include this in several of the user packages, so it's not an add-on feature with additional cost. We also provide mobile clients, and they are generically branded as well to Mobile Office, but you can also customize these. Provides the same experience that you have on the desktop, but in an optimized mobile interface. Very easy to use. It allows you quick access to your Meet Me conferencing, to Call Grabber and other things, but some very exclusive features are Call Boost, where you can take a call and you can push it over to the cellular side. Let's say you're in a low Wi-Fi area, then you can boost that call. There are other things that you can configure as well as calling choices. So if you're in a certain location that restricts data usage, you can change up what your calling choices are. We also have reservation-less Meet Me audio conferencing. So this is a very nice feature because it's always available, always on. You have a dedicated bridge that's just for you. You don't have to go in and schedule it. The telephone numbers, access numbers don't rotate. And it's a great tool to use for weekly team meetings, emergency sessions with your team, or all hands or all employee meetings. As you can see here to the right, it's very tightly integrated with the clients that we have as well as the end user portal. And as a moderator, you can go in and control your conference. You also get notifications when people join and leave the bridge, both as an instant message, but also auto notification, such as playing their name if they recorded their name, or a join and leave tones. There are other features specifically useful for a user who is mobile or a moderator who's mobile, such as turning off or disabling exit on chair exit. So if your call drops, let's say you're traveling in and out and you're moderating a conference, if you were to drop, if you had this enabled, then when you drop, the conference drops too. You can also turn on quick access from your mobile client because there is a speed dial that will automatically enter your chairperson moderator PIN and will automatically add you into your own conference. You do get the instant message moderator controls with all the details. So if you can't remember how to mute down the conference or lock the conference, you can do that. You can just look at your mobile phone. And what I do is I turn on Fast Start to allow people to meet before I join, just in case I'm delayed from a previous meeting. There are security features, such as being able to lock and unlock the conference. So if you're talking about a very sensitive subject and you're concerned that someone may join your bridge, you can lock that conference. You can also turn on to record people's names upon entry. Or you can make them just be the join and leave tones, or you can turn them off altogether. There's an optional attendee waiting room that can be set to have people hear music on hold, and then when you, the moderator, joins, it will bring all of the participants together. You can also enter a moderator code to count all the participants on the call. And a security feature here, different from the mobile function, if you're a mobile moderator, but you can have it when you exit, the entire conference drops. So that's another security feature that you would not, that you could turn on, enable chair on exit for this type of moderator. And then everybody would drop the conference if you, the moderator, drops. There are several options in port counts for you. It's available in 30 participants, 50, 100, 150, and even 200 participants for those larger all-hands meetings. You can also pair this with our collaboration for screen sharing and whiteboarding. For screen sharing, if you do, you can launch this from your desktop or mobile client. And you can, again, tie this with the Meet Me audio bridge, and you can share your screen. There is also a whiteboard share and save. You can turn on privacy settings, there's group chat, and if you are on your mobile, you can also access it from that. It's a very cost-effective replacement and also to consolidate a lot of your cost for third-party screen sharing solutions. We also support video conferencing, and we call this Smart Office. Again, it can be branded for you, but it supports multi-party, many people in both HD voice and video collaboration. So if you want to engage with people who are remote, teams that are in other locations, put a name with a face, this is a great tool to also share. So it does include the audio bridge along with the video and the screen sharing and whiteboarding. And it does support group chat, privacy settings here where you can mute and unmute and turn on and off your video if you want to. The auto attendant, we provide a single auto attendant at no charge for every business group that's created. And it allows any business, no matter the size, to look and feel like a larger company. And you can have people route their own calls by simply pressing a button. You can see on the right here, it's very easy to configure and you can make changes on the fly. You can even print this out for your records. And there are up to 7 levels of submenus that can be set up. And you can have time of day control. So during certain business hours, you can have a certain set of options, and then after hours, something different. And you can also provide a button on a receptionist console or something where they can re-record their main and after hours greetings anytime they want to via the telephone without having to have access to this. The KBS UCaaS portal also supports, or our portfolio also supports cloud voicemail. And this includes voicemail to email. Users control their own voicemail settings. They can access it from any device, whether it be a telephone, a mobile device, their computer. They can access through, like I said, voicemail to email as well. Now, we also have an added function of voicemail transcription. It is fee-based, and that way you get your voicemail and read it just like you do an email. We also support cloud fax as an option, and you do not have to have a personal fax machine or a department fax machine. This supports team faxing as well, and you can manage it all from your computer, including if your mobile phone supports a browser functionality. So you can send and receive faxing. There's several different formats as well, and you can forward them. I love the fact that every time I send a fax, I also get an email sent to me with the attachment so that I can keep track of it. And I get notifications as it goes through. We also have call recording as an optional function. This doesn't necessarily have to be just with call centers either. And we also have an agent role as well as supervisor role. The agents can manage their own call recordings and even pause a recording if they are accepting sensitive information like passwords or credit card information or other things. And then the supervisors can manage multiple agents and monitor those, including for training purposes. So there are several business drivers for customers moving to the cloud and utilizing services such as the KBS Unified Communications as a Service that we call Smart Office. Because they get a lower total cost of ownership, they have very little capital expenditure that they have to budget and provide and spend. It is an operating expense model, not a CapEx model. There are no maintenance contracts because maintenance costs are built into the monthly recurring fees. And you pay as you go or pay as you consume. As your business grows larger or shrinks seasonally, then absolutely the staff, you're only paying for what you consume. Because you don't have to provide power and cooling and real estate and other functions to have an on-premise source for your communications, it's all in the cloud. You don't have those resources to have to account for. It does remove a lot of the technology risk because you're not having to stay fresh with technology, you're not having to handle maintenance, you're not having to handle redundant equipment. All of that is done in the cloud and maintained by Ribbon. Now let's talk about some mobile tools to help real-world users. We all know that we can't always control the Wi-Fi or the cellular coverage that we operate in. And so Ribbon's Unified Communications as a Service, particularly our mobile clients and our desktop clients, the mobile clients allow for a feature called Call Boost to allow you to move calls off a 3G or 4G coverage when it may be poor, and it helps to assure call quality so you can push that call over to the cellular side of the network. You can also configure different calling options so that if you want it to call you back when you make a call to someone so that you're billed for the call rather than someone else, or saving on toll cost, then you can absolutely do that. Some people call this two-stage dialing. You can leverage your desk phone and your mobile phone with or without a client and your desktop clients as well to move calls between any of them. You can also take and use Call Grabber to push your call to the PSTN side of things. So you can move at your pace from VoIP to legacy devices. Let's now talk about the end user web portal. This is a screenshot and an example of a made-up company called Avram Group. And so every single user account is provisioned with the end-user web portal. And this allows them to have access to voicemail if it's enabled, their messages, and call logs. They can also address books, manage their address books, set up the Find Me, Follow Me settings and incoming call rules. You can also configure voicemail, lots of voice services. If you've been enabled for Meet Me, conferencing, and collaboration, then you can also configure them here. If enabled, users can modify their own phone buttons. And if they're a Hunt group or a UCD group administrator, then they can manage their members of that Hunt group or UCD group and the queue settings. You can also, as an end user, select your local language, and it changes everything that you see. So this is where the users can control their own services. We do support up to 7 user packages. That gives you a lot of flexibility in how you decide what you want to promote from Ribbon. And we don't force you into any of these. So let's talk about the 7 different types and really what you get. So starting on the left-hand side, the Voice Basic User is a very cost-effective seat, gives basic voice features, and this is great for a position where there's really no one sitting, such as the lobby, the conference room, a break room, overhead paging, a fax machine, a credit card machine, a modem, an alarm panel, anything like that. And why does it matter? Because you don't want to be paying for features and functionality that you're not using. So this is a very cost-effective basic line. Another is what we call Voice Standard. Gives you all of the voice features, but also gives you Call Grabber, so you can move an active call between your devices. And this does not include voicemail. So this would be any employee or a station that wouldn't need voicemail, but would need all the features. And again, what makes a difference here is that you can integrate the mobile phone with their business line. The next package is the Voice Standard Plus package. It gives you all the voice features, Call Grabber, and now provides voicemail or unified messaging. If you're using this package, most people use it for a phone system replacement or a pure PBX replacement. And you can, again, integrate that mobile number, mobile telephone, no matter what kind of phone it is. It doesn't require a client, but you're using the Call Grabber to integrate that mobile phone number as a one-number solution. And this, again, is a great traditional phone system replacement to the cloud, saving them lots of money. The next package doesn't require or doesn't include voicemail or Call Grabber, but does take all the voice features and adds just the desktop client, not the mobile client, but just the desktop client. This would be for any employee who's sitting at a desk all the time, wants the option to use their phone or their desktop client, includes instant messaging and presence and all of that. You could add voicemail onto this, and it gives that user a UC experience for average employees. The next package is the UC Desktop and Mobile. It gives all the voice features, Call Grabber, voicemail, but both mobile and desktop clients. And this is probably the most common UC package that we have today. This is where employees need to be productive both in the office, on the road. They can choose to use their mobile while they're on the road and have all the functionality that their desktop client has. So it gives them the choice of which device that they use and from any location. The next package is our UC Audio Conference and Sharing. And this provides all of the UC desktop and mobile features, plus it provides a 50-participant Meet Me conference dedicated bridge for audio conferencing and 50 ports for screen sharing. And these are for employees who host calls with both internal and or external teams who are in front of a computer but also on their mobile. And of course, if you need more than 50 ports, there are additional ports available. This is really allowing teams and people who manage teams to communicate effectively and efficiently. And then finally, on the right-hand side, our UC Video Collab. So it provides the UC desktop and mobile features, which include voicemail, Call Grabber, and the mobile clients, but it provides 50 Meet Me conferencing and 10 video conferencing and screen sharing. So this is really for someone who, does a lot of video calling or conferencing, and they connect up with remote teams and all. And you can also get this in more than just the 10 ports. You can get this in the 50 and 100 and so on in that. So let's look at the packages. Why do we have 7 packages? Because one size doesn't fit all. And what you'll see here is the first 2 packages on the left do not include voicemail. The third one does. Unified messaging. The fourth one doesn't include Call Grabber or voicemail. And you'll notice on the left-hand side that these kind of build. So all the voice basic features, what you'll notice, it does include end-user web portal, but what it does not include are things like Find Me, Follow Me, Call Transfer, Blind, or Supervised. It doesn't include hunt groups. They can't be a member of a hunt group. And it doesn't include extension dialing or Call Grabber. So for the left-hand side, again, the voice basic, that's really for a position where there's not a live person sitting all the time, like a lobby, a break room, conference room, and the like. But if you are using transfer and some of the other features, you might be more interested in the Voice Standard package. It does not include voicemail. Then you get into the Voice Standard Plus package. You do have voicemail in this. The middle package, UC Desktop, no voicemail or Call Grabber, so you kind of go backwards a little bit, but it just includes the desktop client. We have some people that really want to have that option. And then the fourth package is the UC Desktop and Mobile. So it includes all of the Voice Standard package with the Call Grabber and unified messaging, but now adds on the desktop clients and the mobile clients for both instant messaging, presence, and video calling. The next package 6 includes, called UC Audio Conferencing and Sharing, includes the 50 Meet Me participants along with sharing up to 50 people with screen sharing. It doesn't have integrated video though. And then the final number 7 package takes everything in the UC desktop and mobile and adds in the 50 party Meet Me as well as 10 of the audio and video HD screen sharing. So there are several a la carte features. So if the functionality is not already included, such as call grabber is not included here, or voicemail, you could add it in. But you may be better served to go to one of the other packages. You can also add in call recording or cloud fax. There's also a receptionist console and contact center. And you'll notice that in the Meet Me conferencing, there's 100, 150, 200 participants. And in the HD video conferencing, there's a lot more as well. So there's some additional things, including voicemail transcription if you want to add those in. What you'll notice is the stars are ones that a lot of people deploy. They start out with these 4 packages, particularly the Voice Basic for, again, the lobby phone, the conference room phones, the break room phones, landline fax machines and stuff like that. But then the Voice Standard Plus are for people who are purely using the SIP telephone and they want to use all the voice features along with voicemail and call grabber. Then they deploy the UC desktop and mobile for most employees in the business who need to be able to use instant messaging and presence. And then for those that have calls and collaboration with both internal and external, they will utilize this package 6, the UC audio conferencing and sharing for them. And finally, every customer group does come with one auto attendant for the main line, and additional auto attendants can also be purchased. Let's talk a little bit about call center needs. What we found is that one size doesn't fit all here either. Businesses may have a very basic queuing function that they need, and we support hunt groups of various types, UCD groups as well, and both have a wallboard, a near real-time function that can be added. For the audio-only call center, needing historical reports and real-time stats and supervisor functionality, we have a solution here, and we can also tie that in with call recording. And then for your higher end, what we call omni-channel or contact center, where you have multiple inbound and outbound channels, including voice and chat and email and social media and web. For advanced skills-based routing, reporting, and advanced supervisor controls, we also have an alternative. Now let's talk about our administration. This is channel ready and multi-level, where you, the partner, can have admin access that's various levels, but definitely with full access to control your resellers, your businesses, sites, provision subscribers, and all the other functionality. And then if you do offer wholesaling your services out to other downstream providers, we have a reseller partner admin. And you define the level of access that you want them to have, which is a subset of yours. Enterprises may also find that they want to be able to do some minor moves, adds, and changes, and you can also control and define that access level. You may also find that a department or a site needs an even smaller subset of that level of access from an enterprise, and they can also have admin access with a defined level. And then finally, the end users have a complete subset of all of that to control their own services. And it does include support for multiple languages and branding. There are many troubleshooting and debug tools available in the service as well. And so it allows you to go in and do SIP call tracing, registration tracing. You can also deregister devices. You can check for quality of service and monitor things. It also allows you to translate some of the traces and even help you do some more advanced tracing. There's a lot of useful information through the historical reports and wallboards, and all of this matters because it can really help you become more efficient in resolving issues that your customers may have, and it'll also allow you to better diagnose common problems and reduce a lot of those calls to the ribbon technical support as well as to your customers calling you. And you can identify problems and potential problems before they impact your customers. If you do enable enterprise administration for a business, there are some tech-savvy customers who want to be able to manage some aspects of the service for their employees, and you control their access level. Common things that we find all the time are they want to be able to reset passwords and PINs. They want to be able to change employee names, email addresses, and mobile numbers and contact information. They want to be able to set Find Me, Follow Me settings and other end-user portal settings for the various employees and management. They also may need to change calling permissions. If a particular user is restricted to not allow international calling, they may be allowed to enable that for them after approval. You can also view the user packages assigned so they know what package a user has. And if they had to replace a telephone because it went for repair and return, they can input a new MAC address and assign it to users. And you can also change the time zone or language for a user. Sometimes they may need to move a user from one site to another or go in and edit phone buttons for employees. They can also access historical reports and do some light troubleshooting. All these are configurable by you. Some of the historical reports available through our portal, but also through our application programming interfaces, are things like what you see here, graphical displays, and you can export these. They're tabular views for monthly, weekly, daily, hourly. You can also see calls that are failed, completed, abandoned, attempted, all of that include call length and total minutes. You can also look at statistics around call answering groups, such as hunt groups and UCD groups, and you can drill down to both the user level, group levels, and site levels. You can set all of these up to be scheduled and sent via email or dropped into a server location through secure file transfer protocol. Why does this matter? Because a lot of admins, businesses want to be able to access some of the reporting and metrics, but also you and your support personnel and operations teams want to look at this. In summary, here are a lot of the benefits from the Ribbon Candy Unified Communications as a Service. It allows organizations to leverage cloud economics to deploy and maintain a full unified communications solution, saving them time, money, and resources. It also delivers a high availability enterprise class telephony solution, alleviating the worries of moving off premises. Provides a future-proof user experience for any and all users within the organization while delivering the needs of various types of users. It gives control to the customer to effectively manage their solution, making it easier to scale and make changes as needed, and extends the reach of the solution to the web and to mobile, enabling a better customer experience. So let's talk about what you've learned. Now you've gotten an overview of the core services, unified communication services, and optional services that can be deployed from Ribbon's KBS UCaaS cloud. You've also gotten an overview of the telephony devices for end users, such as SIP telephones, soft clients, and desktop and mobile devices. You've also gotten an overview of our call grabber feature, an overview of conferencing and collaboration tools, an overview of messaging products such as auto attendant and voicemail, and an overview of optional services such as call recording, call center, and fax. and finally, an overview of the end-user web portal, enterprise administration, and troubleshooting tools. Thank you for attending this course.